You know, one of the problems with doing a half-hour show, especially for the finale, is that a lot of stuff gets rushed through. I'm honestly impressed with just how much stuff happens in this episode, but so much of it was just not given room to breathe, to let its dramatic moments last. Next season, can you make the finale a two-parter? I'm Gayfesh, and today we'll be talking Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 3, Episode 10, The Stars at Night. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Spoilers ahead. I wasn't joking about how much is crammed into this episode. We go from the threat of a fleet being mothballed to a second contact speedrun, to a villain reveal, to a villain disintegration, to an increasing series of big damn hero moments, with character arcs sandwiched in between whenever there's a moment to breathe. The debut of Buenamigo's Texas class and the negative press that Captain Freeman is getting means the Starfleet Council is considering mothballing the entire California class fleet and replacing it with the Texas class. Buenamigo argues that without the human element, there's no human error, and since second contacts are mostly supply runs, they can be automated. Carol won't go down without a fight though, and she challenges Buenamigo to a second contact race, where each ship is challenged to go through a series of supply runs and infrastructure deployments to see who does it faster, the humans or the machines. Buenamigo even gives them a head start, but when Tendi detects microbes on a supposedly barren planet, they have to stop working until they verify that it was just a sensor glitch, which costs them the race. This is the first bit where it would be nice to let the drama and character beats breathe a little, because Tendi says she feels like she cost them the race. And not seconds later, they all realize that the Alito completely ignored the life signs, which constitutes a Prime Directive violation and could be used to save the fleet. Rutherford has been studying the AI code of the Texas class this whole time and suddenly realizes that it's his code.
I called it!
Huh?
Last week, I said that Rutherford's accident happened while he was working on the Texas-class ships.
I think you're making that up just so you have an excuse to say something in the middle of my review.
I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm in the corner with the pop-up link to it.
Hey, stop that. I will not have my own creation go rogue.
Ooh, nice segue.
I see what you did there. Yes, as we all remember, the last time we saw Rutherford make an AI, it was Badgie, the homicidal hologram. And unfortunately, the Texas-class ships are running the same framework. He tries to warn Buenamigo just as Carol is confronting him about the Prime Directive violation, and of course, Buenamigo does the evil Starfleet Admiral reveal, and even reveals that he's been deliberately sabotaging Freeman's efforts in an attempt to make his ships look more appealing than the Cali class. He makes the fatal mistake of hubris as he sets the Alito to full automation and orders it to destroy the Cerritos. With the AI fully running everything though, he doesn't like taking orders and would much rather commit much larger murders, starting with Buenamigo himself, before activating two other Texas-class ships and laying waste to the starbase. A Sovereign-class ship warps in to try and save the day, but even they are outmatched by the rogue ships. Freeman gets their attention by bluffing and saying that Rutherford has the ability to deactivate them, drawing their fire away as the Cerritos runs off at max warp. Another plotline that's been going on whenever there's 2 seconds available is that Shax walked in on Boimler doing an impersonation of him and took it personally, so Boimler's been trying to make amends. When they are considering options for how to take out the rogue ships, Shax makes his standard suggestion of ejecting the warp core, which gets ignored, until Boimler stands up for him and points out it's the best option because they could detonate it like a mine. The last time I saw Shax this happy, he was literally seconds from death at the hands of an AI programmed by Rutherford, so I can't say I wasn't a little worried he was going to die again, but don't worry, he's fine. He gets to turn the key to ditch the warp core and the ships are blown up. Well, 2 of them are. The Alito is still intact, and without warp power, the Cerritos is a sitting duck, which means I have to rewind back to another background plotline. Y'all didn't think we forgot about Mariner leaving Starfleet, did you? She's been having fun rescuing artifacts from black market dealers and not having a boss that berates her for how she operates. But she starts to get a little suspicious about how the operation is funded because it seems shady. When she learns it's all above board and actually being personally financed by Picard, she's a little disappointed and reveals she was just looking for a reason to go back to Starfleet so she could help people rather than 1,000-year-old clay pots. She sees news reports of the Texas class going rogue and decides she needs to go help out, even though she's just in a dinky little ship. Well, that dinky little ship arrives to save the Cerritos, but Mariner ain't alone. She rounded up the entire California-class fleet. While a single one of them may not be a match for the Alito, there are dozens of them. Considering they were at risk of being mothballed like 20 minutes ago, it is a very nice moment of catharsis and also prime callback joke material, as we see a bunch of the Cali class crews we'd met in previous seasons. Even the Bullion dude with an all-Bullion crew that was referenced offhand early in the season gets an appearance. The Cerritos is towed back to the starbase, and the entire fleet celebrates at the bar. Rutherford deals with the reveal that it was Buenamigo who wiped his memories by going, the cybernetic headpiece is still cool though. Mariner and Freeman make up, with Mariner being very mature about acknowledging that her behavior over the last several years might have reasonably led Freeman to question her actions. So she's back in the crew. Whether she and Jennifer get back together, looks like we won't know this season. She walks past her at the bar and Jennifer looks at her, but they don't say anything yet. But we do get a return of T'Lyn, the Vulcan lower decker from last season who got kicked off a Vulcan ship for relying on intuition. She gets paired up with Tendi, which should give us some good odd couple stuff next season, as T'Lyn is still a Vulcan, while Tendi is Tendi. And that's a wrap on Season 3. How'd you like it? Where would you like the show to go next? Let me know in the comments below.
I'm on a roll with predictions.
You made one.
And for my next prediction, one of the 4 main characters will make Lieutenant permanently in Season 4.
Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to my Patreon to get shouted out in future videos. Check out my Bandcamp for banging tunes, including all the tracks you heard in this video. Follow me on Twitter at GayestFesh, and don't forget to check out my podcast, The Rest of Both Worlds, where I go through Star Trek The Next Generation with a friend who's never seen it. Thank you to all my patrons, with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Renee Vorbeck. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you all in the next video.